Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it is, wherever you are in the world. I am posting this where I am in time for August 25th. Depending on where you are in the world, the 25th may have already come and gone. You might stumble upon the video in a few days or weeks from now, or months or years. So we're just setting the intention here for the next 24 hours from whenever you happen to see the video, whenever you happen to find the message. So we're going to see what's coming up here for the collective. And the card, we have coming up is the High Priestess. I like her. This is a Major Arcana card. So the Major Arcana cards are going to come up anytime that the things that we're dealing with are directly connected to experiences we agreed to have in this lifetime. So basically everything that's going on right now is directly connected to what you came here to learn, what you came here to experience, how you came here to grow. And even though I'm setting the intention for a 7-day period of time, Major Arcana energy is going to last for a while, right? We just came out of the Lionsgate energy, or we're coming out of the Lionsgate energy. There's a lot of intense things that are happening right now energetically, and we are living in the threshold to like a new dawn, a new light age. So there's a lot going on energetically. So these are energies that are going to last for a while. The Major Arcana is something that's going to last for a while. High Priestess, okay, has both Pisces and Taurus associations. Some people get really upset when I bring in Taurus into it, but it is what it is. If you don't believe me, you can do your research on the card. There is Taurus association with the High Priestess, though we generally see it as Pisces, okay? But if you have Pisces or Taurus placements, there could be big changes or big shifts happening for you in those areas of your life or in those houses. As a Pisces, you may really be coming fully into your power, your authenticity, reclaiming your power, reclaiming your life, living your best life unapologetically, like unconcerned with what anybody else thinks, but also in the process thriving, because you're taking back your power, and you're shaking off the conditioning or the programming that we all go through, and coming back to the authentic self. And in taking back your power, you're going to be making good decisions, you're going to be moving ahead, you're going to be making progress. So there could be, for those of you out there who are Pisces, a lot of positive momentum that you're coming into in your life. Now, not all of us are Pisces or have Pisces placements, but so the traditional meaning here, and what I said about Pisces coming into power, that's just the way that I read as a reader. That's the way my spiritual team brings information in during a reading, but other readers are gonna read differently. So that's just kind of my thing there. So if you're learning tarot and you got confused, like I've never heard that before, you've never heard that before because it's just kind of the way that I read. I can't explain it, but I'm sure those of you who are readers, there's just certain cards or certain things that have a certain meaning for you when you read it. It just happens over time. The longer you read, you'll have little specific things to the way that you read. But traditionally, High Priestess here is that sage wisdom. It's that spiritual connection. It's tapping into our spiritual gifts and abilities, even sometimes psychic gifts and abilities, healing abilities. I always feel the High Priestess, though she's very intuitive and though she's very all-knowing, I always feel like a healing energy from this card. So some of you may be coming into a time where you feel truly healed, right? Like you've been on a healing journey for a long time, but there's always been that gash. There's always been that, that one little void that you just try to not pay attention to it and just look on the bright side, right? But the High Priestess for me is like this fully healed energy. So some of you who've been working on yourself for a long time, you may be feeling, I finally feel healed. I finally feel complete. And this is coming in intuitively. I feel some of you feel like always you have to prove yourself. Like you feel like people see you as you don't know what you're talking about, or incompetent, or you're not qualified. And so the energy that I feel here for a lot of you is you feel like you don't have to prove anything to anybody anymore. You don't have that pressure on your back, or you don't have that insecurity, or you're not feeling inferior to anyone. You're in that confidence. You know what you know. You don't have anything proved to anybody. Nobody is above you. I feel that feeling here. High Priestess is very connected to higher self, to God, to universe. And so as a result, she's very, very magnetic. Okay? And I've said this in previous readings. When you're in High Priestess energy, you're going to attract a lot of people your way. You're going to be very charismatic. There are going to be people that want to be your friend. There are going to be people who want to get you into bed. There are going to be people who want to work with you or collaborate with you. And they may be very persistent. We oftentimes can feel a really intense connection with these people. But we need to be cautious, okay? Because sometimes this intense connection and these people that are pursuing you very persistently, they're like moths in the dark, and you're like a candle. You're a bright spot in a dark place, and they don't even understand what you are. They're just hypnotized by you, they're mesmerized by you, and they're rushing at you, but they're not necessarily ready for you. And it can end disastrously for the moth. It could knock over the candle. It's not always a healthy attraction. So my advice to you, when you feel an intense connection with somebody, and this person may even be pursuing you very persistently, like they might just like not be giving up. I'm not talking about somebody who checks in with you a couple of times, or hey, how have you been? Like I'm talking about someone who just like won't take no for an answer, or you've just been like I don't like, just someone who's just like even maybe like very seductive, like someone who's coming in really seductive, right? Like they're trying to seduce you. They're they're pulling out all of the tricks in the book, right? And they might be very, very persistent in trying to win you over. My advice to you is to kind of take a step back and just make sure and see, is this person doing their work? If they're not doing their work, oftentimes this is someone who's that moth rushing to that candle. They just want to latch on to you. They just want to feed off of your energy. And this is when we fall into situationships. This is when we fall into relationships where the chemistry is so intense. It's just absolute fire. But it's somebody who comes in and out of your life. And then people immediately mislabel it as the twin flame. And that's a whole nother topic I won't get into. But what ends up happening is you're the High Priestess, and you end up in this parasitic cord where this person is feeding off of your energy and not doing their work, and you're constantly longing for them, you're constantly missing them, and they're off doing their thing and they're not giving you the time of day. And then when the cord loses energy, loses power, they come back to refuel. They tap into you again. They record you. Okay, it's nice and strong again, and then they disappear again. So to avoid that, you can just kind of check in and see, is this someone doing their work? Maybe you say, Amethyst, I can't resist. It's so intense. I have to go to bed with this person. I'm not going to tell you how to live your life. You do you. I will strongly suggest, however, that if you do give in to that temptation, that you do your cord cutting afterwards, that you do your spiritual cleansing. The same way you have physical hygiene, right? You might have a physical hygiene after you get together with somebody. Bring in the spiritual hygiene. Call your energy back to you. Ground yourself. Call your energy back to you. Ground yourself. Cut cords. And please understand, when you cut cords with somebody, it doesn't mean that you're making it so that you'll never see them again. Cutting cords with somebody is not banishing them. Cutting cords with somebody is simply like, okay, you're not going to feed off my energy. You're not going to tap into my battery. Okay? So that's what I mean by cutting cords. It's not like you're banishing the person. So some of you may feel like you're getting a lot of attention. A lot of people are attracted to you. A lot of people are, coming your way or like wanting to be with you. And it's because you're in that high priestess energy, right? You're vibrating very high, and it's very attractive to the people that are encountering you. My advice is just be selective who you're letting in. That's all I can really say. Be selective who you're letting in. Persistence doesn't equal readiness. So just kind of take a step back and, make sure this person's ready to handle all of you, and like they're doing their work. They're not going to come here and like latch into you and feed off of you, right? But a lot of you are coming into a very high level of healing, a very high level of spirituality, increasing and strengthening spiritual gifts and abilities. It's an inner knowing, right? And also the thing that I love about the High Priestess is there's such an air of confidence here. She doesn't look outside of herself for answers. She finds the answers within herself. She figures it out. She has the inner knowing, and she's not looking outwardly for validation. She's not looking outwardly for vindication or validation. Like, it doesn't matter to her what's going on outside of her, because she knows who she is, and that's not going to change. It's not going to change by somebody else's opinion or because of what somebody else said. She knows who she is. She knows her value, and it's not negotiable. It's not questionable. People can say whatever they want. It's like if somebody was telling you, hey, the sky is green, the sky is green, you're going to be like, okay, are you really going to devote half a day to argue, or a whole day arguing with that person? No, the sky is blue, right? You're like, it's obvious. Everybody knows it. I know it. I don't need to argue this, right? So the High Priestess doesn't fall into that like seeking validation or feeling like she has to defend or prove herself. She knows what it is, and she's like, it's evident. Those who see it. Those who don't can't be helped. Like, she's not going to worry about it. So a lot of you are coming into that energy. You may want to check out the weekly forecasts if you haven't already. They're linked in the description to this video. I am a little behind on the private readings. I am getting caught up in sending them out. We've had some pretty insane flooding in my area and the surrounding areas, and it took out the internet and the fiber optics, and some people didn't even have phone service. So that kind of set me back a little bit, but I am catching up. Private readings are going to be making their way to you, those of you who are waiting for a private reading. And love readings, if you haven't watched them for August and September, are linked in the description. If you want to schedule a private reading with me, link in the description to my scheduling page, calendly.com/amethystangelite, and I'll be happy to do a private reading for you. Just one thing, guys. I just want to say, please, if you're scheduling a private reading with me, keep in mind I don't do readings on like legal cases or court cases. It seems to be coming up fairly like more frequently, and I just want to let you know I can't do it. And I think sometimes people think, well, if you've paid me, then I'm gonna want to hold on to the money and then I'll do the reading. But that's not the case. I don't do readings on court cases. So if I see that, I might email you and say, hey, I can't do court cases. Do you want to ask me something else, or do you want me to refund you? I'd rather refund the reading, because I'm not going to do readings on court cases. I'm not going to say, oh my gosh, well, no, okay, fine. All right, I'll do the court case reading because I want the money. That's not the way that I work. I do not do reading on court cases, okay? So I'm not going to predict the outcome of a case or give advice on what to do in a court case. I just want to remind everybody of that. So I thank you guys for watching. I hope you all have a fabulous day ahead. Hopefully you all can check out the weekly forecasts if you haven't already, and I'll see you all in tomorrow's message. Take care, my darlings.